Hello and welcome to video number 4 in this 4-video series about serviced accommodation. I'm Paul Smith and I hope you are very well. If you haven't seen the previous 3 videos in this series, it makes a lot more sense. It'll be a lot more useful to you if you pop back and watch video 1, 2 and 3 in order. They're only about 10 minutes each. And then video number 4 is going to make a lot more sense to you. Video number 4 is all about operations, and specifically simple operations that require none of your time. When people are talking about service accommodation and when they come to work with us and when they're talking to us about whether the service accommodation masterclass is right for them or not, very often what they'll say to us is, well, Paul, I like the idea of the money. I love the idea of saving the tax. You've convinced me on occupancy, but blimey, there's a lot of work to do. I've already got a full-time job. Realistically, can I manage service accommodations on top of everything else that I'm doing? Can I do it part-time? Can I earn a full-time plus salary on a part-time basis? And I'm really concerned about that, because you've got the housekeeping, you've got all the guests to talk to, you've got emails flying about. How does that all work? Well, this video is specifically for people that are thinking, I love the idea, I love the fact that I'm going to pay less tax and I've got all these all these benefits financially. I'm just really concerned about the volume of work that I've got to do. So hold that thought and let me talk to you now in detail about how you can simply and quickly automate and outsource, because those are the 2 things that you need to learn to do. Really easy when you know how. Automate and outsource. So let's have a look in more detail now at automation first. Your key, I call it backbone system, because if you imagine a service accommodation business being like a body, the backbone is the thing that holds the body up. So the backbone system that we use is called KIGO, K-I-G-O. More generically, these systems are known as channel managers. You need to set up a channel manager. What does a channel manager do? A channel manager interfaces with all of the OTAs. What's an OTA? It's an online travel agent, which is Booking.com, Airbnb, HomeAway, Late Rooms, Expedia, all of them. Because think what would happen if you didn't have that. You get a booking coming in from, I'll make it up, Airbnb, but your property is still available on 37, potentially, other OTAs. So straight away, one booking means you've got to make 37 calendar entries on Booking.com, I'm not going to go through them again, but all of the other OTAs. That's a nightmare. And that's just because you got a booking. You haven't even taken payment yet. You haven't talked to the guest. But here's the news. Some of these channel managers for your first property are free. Some of these OTAs that we can talk to you about interface with channel managers that not only are they free, you can get the whole thing set up in less than 3 hours. Now that's just the first benefit. As well as interfacing with all the online travel agents, they're also going to do all your guest communications. Now I want to literally show you how our channel manager sends out the guest communications. It sends out the contract. It takes the payment. It tells the guest how to get in and how to get out. All of that stuff is all automated. You do not have to touch it. The work needs to be done, but not by you. How do you get guests physically in and out of your property? A computer system is not going to go to the property and open the door, is it? But how about this? Lock boxes. A 20, 30 quid steel lockbox with a combination lock on it, with the keys inside. Your channel manager can tell the guest, it can send them an email, send them a text, this is the 4-digit code you need to open this lockbox, and they take the keys out. What could possibly be simpler? So simple, it's just mind-blowing. When the guest is gone or maybe mid-stay, you've got to do a clean. So does that mean that you've got to stop what you're doing in your job and you've got to run down there, take the sheets off the bed and start washing and ironing them? No, you're going to get that outsourced and you're going to leverage your time. Now we've got a video coming up very, very shortly with another wonderful team member, Shelley. So Shelley is actually in an apartment with our housekeeping team, showing you how simply they turn that around, and she's giving you the numbers. So if you've got those 2 things, if you've got a channel manager that's interfacing with the outside world, doing all your communications, taking your bookings, taking your money and all that stuff, and you've got a housekeeper that's doing all the physical stuff, bingo. You've now outsourced all the work and you're keeping the vast majority of the money. See you back here in a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Shelley and I work at Touchstone Education. I'm really new to Touchstone Education and very new to serviced accommodation as well. So what we're actually going to do is just nip out to one of our local serviced accommodations and have a look at what's involved in running a serviced accommodation property. So we've just arrived at our serviced accommodation unit, and as you can see, the guests have just checked out and the cleaners have got to deal with this unit. So the bedrooms need making over, and then going through into our second bedroom. This one needs cleaning as well, and all the bed linen needs changing through just to make it ready for the next guests. With it being serviced accommodation, we've got a bathroom that needs cleaning as well, that our guests use, going into the kitchen area and the living room area. So the kitchen needs completely cleaning, the oven needs cleaning, microwave needs sorting, the fridge needs looking after, and then all of the dining room area and the sofa needs cleaning as well. So part of having a serviced accommodation apartment is that there are things like TV on site, and these also need checking to make sure that they're functional for the next guests. If we've had people who speak different languages on site, they may have changed the language on the television. So they are checked by our contractors. It's not something that you as the business owner need to worry about. Our contractors deal with that for us as well every time they reset the apartment. Okay, so that's it. We're all reset, all tidy, ready for the next clients coming in, and that has only taken an hour. So that was interesting. We've just been to the serviced accommodation. What would normally put me off is the amount of housekeeping involved in a serviced accommodation unit and the turnaround, getting it ready for the next guests. Discovered today that we have cleaning contractors that do that all for us. It takes them an hour to an hour and a half. They do all the bedding, get it all reset for the next guests coming in, and all we have to do is get that organisation set up so it's a business going forward, not replacing our current job with a new job. And it's effectively just setting it up ready so that the guests can get in and just do what they need to do, and then we pick it up ready for when they are finished. We get our contractors in, get it all cleaned, and that's all we have to do. I would now seriously look at doing my own serviced accommodation based on the fact that it is so easy to run going forwards.
So you've now seen how simple it is over this 4-video series to take a buy-to-let and turn it into a service accommodation unit, to take somebody else's buy-to-let and turn it into a service accommodation unit. You've seen some top tips on how to increase your occupancy and boost your profits, and now you've seen how fantastically simple it is to automate all of the jobs that need to be done so that it gets done, you don't do it, the work gets done by somebody else, you keep the profits. And if you'd like to learn more about this, I'd like to give you a very special invitation. I'm going to give an hour and a half of content. So if you've liked these little 10-minute videos, I'd like to invite you to spend time with me. You can just book yourself in on the link here. On the 24th of January, I'm going to spend an hour and a half with you going to the next level of detail to how you can set up a service accommodation business, and specifically how you can get it done in a few weeks. I'm going to say 6 to 8 weeks, really not long at all. If you like the idea of doing that, couldn't be simpler, click on the link and join me on the webinar. As always, if you've liked this content, please literally like it. Little smiley face like on Facebook would be nice. Thank you very much. And share it with a few of your friends. Final thing I'd like to say to you as I close this series of 4 videos on service accommodation is service accommodation has totally, completely and utterly changed my life. I used to be a hard-working career professional that did property on the side. It took me 10 years to get to 10 properties. And yes, I was earning an extra £2,500, £3,000 a month, but it wasn't easy. It was hard work. And that was before Section 24 and all this anti-landlord legislation. In 2014, and we're obviously here in 2019, 5 years later, I discovered service accommodation and I took it seriously and I put it into practice. Put it into practice like I want you to put it into practice. And I just took my existing buy-to-lets that I had already, turned them into service departments, learnt the hard way. I didn't know about channel managers. I didn't know about taking pictures of vans in hotel car parks and all the other tips that I've given you in this video series. But despite the fact I didn't really know what I was doing, within a few months, I took that £3,000 a month and from the same properties, turned it into £15,000 a month. Imagine what you would do if you multiplied your buy-to-let profits by a factor of 500%. Imagine what you would do if you could make that kind of money, even if you don't have any apartments, which is what we've also shared with you in this video series. So yes, I'm offering you a webinar on service departments, but I'm not really offering you that. I'm offering you the once in a lifetime opportunity to be something different, to do something different, and to get close to something I bet you haven't even thought about since you were at primary school. Which is, what would I do if I didn't have to do anything? What would I do if I could live my dream? What would my dream existence, what would my dream job, what would my dream thing be? I want to be a princess, I want to be a ballerina, I want to be a train driver, I want to be an astronaut. It's never too old to be an astronaut. Richard Branson wants to be an astronaut, he's in his 70s. I don't know what you want to do. What I do know is click that link, join me on the webinar, and you're one step closer to doing whatever it is that you've always wanted to do but never been able to. Okay, see you on the webinar. You've been wonderful. I've been Paul. Look forward to speaking to you very, very soon.